else is going to have to pick up the scoring slack for Norristown.
I've been impressed so far, Frank, with the way the Eagles have handled the press. They very, very few turnovers. They have not thrown the ball away. Remember that Plymouth Whitemarsh came unstuck against that press. We have not seen that with the Eagles.
Well, they just have to stay away from those long cross-court passes. The Glen Mills players are just too quick. This is probably the quickest team Norristown's played all year.
Here are the Glen Mills fans trying to get their team in the game. We heard this against PW also. There goes the ball to Thompson. Robinson back in the game, replacing Golston, knocks it out of bounds. Vicky Johnson for Norristown has 6 points so far this period to really help the Eagles get started here coming out after halftime. Ball deep to Simmons. Simmons looks for Johnson, goes back to Flowers. Flowers with a long three, no good. Strong. Robinson for the rebound. Johnson takes it from him, battles underneath. Foul on Robinson will be number 4 over his back. Pinky Johnson battling for the rebound, taking it away from him.
And I'll tell you, Jim, you gotta hope Howard makes one of those shots, Howard Flowers. He's been kind of cold the last couple games. He's been playing great games, but he doesn't have the scoring punch he had during the middle of the season, and you gotta hope he makes a couple to pick it up.
Yeah. The other thing is you don't want Glen Mills to be able to pack it in so they can cut off Thompson and Evans-Mayers underneath. The only way you're going to do that is if you hit some of those outside shots. Johnson up for 2. First one is around, no good. And Binky's now missed 2 in a row.
I think what it is, Jim, Flowers has to be tired too. He's played almost the whole game out there.
Yeah,
in fact, I think he has, hasn't he?
Did the same thing down the Palestra. Johnson's second shot up around, no good. And all of a sudden, some missed foul shots after they'd been shooting fouls really well. Allen on the reverse dribble, almost drags his foot. Simmons all over him, Crowley with the ball. And there's the steal. There goes the pass to Flowers on the drive. Up, he's got it. Assist, Binky Johnson.
I'm glad Howard got that one, Jim.
Eagles by 10. There goes the press again. Ball almost stolen, and they're caught.
Oh, what a terrible call.
Blocking foul on Binky Johnson. Third.
I mean, Binky did touch the man, Jim, but that touching has been happening all game. Why call it now?
You want to be careful with that. That's the third foul on Johnson. You certainly don't want him to get his 4th this period. Allen with the ball over to Epps. Epps looking cross-court to Cavilion. Cavilion looks for the 3. Jump shot going in, no good. Cavilion follows for the rebound. Tries to get up, nothing there. Rebound up, no good. Golston. That's going to be a foul on Mayers, I believe. Glen Mills showing that control under the boards.
You know, Jim, this is a game where I wish they had some sort of light on the backboard that went on every time somebody violated that 3-second violation. It's like the refs out there don't know the penalty exists.
Golston's first shot, no good. And it looks like quite a few of them now are having trouble making their foul shots. 3 minutes, 9 seconds left, third quarter, Eagles by 10. Second shot is up, good. Norristown 40, Glen Mills 31. Flowers with the ball over to Simmons. Simmons on the dribble. Spins away. Finds Johnson. Johnson coming down on the drive. Backs off. Will go outside again to Simmons. Simmons up high. Over to Johnson. Johnson fakes the shot. Outside to Simmons. Simmons will cross court to Flowers. Flowers back deep to Simmons. Halfway between half court and the circle. Over to Johnson. Johnson on the drive. There's a foul on Golston. That will be his 2nd.
And Jim, it wouldn't hurt Norristown to take some time off that clock and make Glen Mills come out of that zone. They don't have to go in there and score. They're up by 9 points.
Then work their men underneath, let Binky take it and drive and open things up.
I don't mean they should freeze the ball, but I think they should make Glen Mills think about that zone and think about coming out of it.
Although there's a danger in that. I was down at Cheney last week for the Pinwood game with Glen Mills, and Pinwood did exactly that with a 9-point lead in the third quarter, and I'm convinced it cost them the ball game. They got out of there.
You think it did?
Yes.
Well, I'm not talking about a freeze, but I'm just talking about making them have those 2 guards come farther out away from the key.
Okay, Johnson good with the first one. Eagle lead stretched to 10 again. Ramsey back for Norristown. Johnson second one off. And
all right, that's got to be Norristown's ball.
All the foul shots that are missing seem to go in a little bit and then spin out with maybe lively rims again.
Well, I'll tell you, Jim, a lot of that has to do with being tired, I think. There's a heck of a pace going on out there. And when you got to go up to that foul shot and your body is shaking and sweating, it's pretty tough.
Number 22, Truett Reed, has come into the game for Glen Mills. There goes Flowers with a fake. Outside to Johnson. Johnson on the move. Over to Flowers. Flowers fakes back to Johnson. Johnson across to Thompson. Jumper up. In and out. Here comes Reed on the break. Stops. Flips back to Epps. Epps gets it into the hands of Allen.
Jim, this is what happened to PW. The second half, they also all of a sudden went
There
cold
goes the
on
ball
their
into
shooting.
Golston. And there's a walking call. And that's the walking call we saw down to Palestra at least 5 times on Golston. Haven't seen it much here.
Jim, I think there's a big difference in the quality of the officials out there. I guess I shouldn't say it. It's my opinion. I'm no expert. But
here comes Thompson. Thompson going cross court. Simmons is in for Johnson. Another smart move by Kressel. Keep Johnson on the bench till the 4th quarter if at all possible. Don't let him get his 4th foul. Here comes Thompson on the dribble. Bounce pass to Simmons deep. Ramsey in at the foul line. Evans underneath. Thompson in the corner moving. Simmons, Flowers with the ball now on the right-hand dribble. Looking for Thompson. Goes cross court to Simmons. Simmons fakes down, comes with a bounce pass to Flowers to Thompson. And the Eagles perfectly content now to use some time. Cross to Evans. Evans on the dribble underneath. Ball blocked. Ramsey tries to control, out of bounds, off of Glen Mills.
And Jim, that's what I mean by forcing Glen Mills to come out. I think Norristown has a better opportunity of scoring if they can make Glen Mills start to chase him around.
Ball deep in the hands of Simmons. Simmons finds Flowers, almost throws it away. Back to Simmons. Simmons moving to his right, spins back under his legs, over to Flowers on the left-hand side with a left-hand dribble. Coming back, ball stolen away.
Howard expected Lou to be where he wasn't.
Stolen away, and there's a foul outside. It's only the 3rd foul on the Eagles. The foul is on Simmons, and that really stopped Glen Mills from getting a fast break. Not a bad foul.
No, it wasn't. I'm sure that he would have scored on that. He had a decidedly big height advantage on Lou Simmons, and I think he would have scored. I think that was a good foul. He doesn't go to the foul line.
There's Allen on the drive. Left-hand jumper up. He's got it. Sorry, that was Mike Epps, and he's the man who came off the bench in the first half. 41-33 Eagles. There goes the press. Simmons picks it up, and he got away with one there. He double dribbled. Back to Simmons.
Well, I'm not sure, Jim. The Glen Mills man touched the ball.
I don't think so. I think
so?
Simmons came up with it and got down. I think he got a break there. Johnson's up off the bench, and I'm not sure I would do this.
Well, there's the payback. Now it's even.
You hate to see this happen. The Eagles have been down with the last couple of possessions without even getting a shot off. And you want to see them get shots. You want to see them stretch that lead and keep it at 10. You just don't want to let Glen Mills in. 39 seconds left, 3rd quarter. Eagles by 8. Epps with the ball. And I think Glen Mills is going to be happy to get the last shot this time.
This surprises me, Jim, that there they are down by 8 points and they're happy to take the last shot.
Goes Allen. Allen over to Epps. Epps fakes. Comes back outside to Allen. Allen looking underneath. Over to Epps. Epps with a jumper fake. No good. There's the rebound, Evans. Eagles with 15 seconds. Johnson on the move. To Ramsey.
Jim, they got to know they can't make those long cross-court passes.
Golston. There goes the ball, almost stolen back. There goes the jumper up, no good, and there's the buzzer.
Right.
3rd quarter.
The Eagles had a couple lucky breaks there, Jim. I thought Binky Johnson should have just pulled up and taken the jump shot there.
They had 7-8 seconds left. Pull up and hang on to the ball and get an easier shot.
Yeah, you can't get cute with Glen Mills.
Don't
They're
give
too
the
fast
ball
and too tall.
Yeah, don't give them a chance to get back in the ball game. That's what you don't want to do. Once again, Eagles lead 41-33. Eagles coming down now 8 minutes away from the district championship. And fans on both sides. The Bulls fans exhorting their team to try to get back in this, and the Eagles fans hoping that things can keep going this way.
Notice the foul situation. Only 3 on the Eagles and 5 on the Bulls. So that the Eagles are in pretty good shape in the foul situation. Notice the score here, Jim, 41-33. We're not accustomed to a score like this with Norristown, a team that was averaging well over 80 points for most of the season.
We'll take it, though.
We could be looking at the state championship team right here, Jim. I'm not sure which one it's going to be, but I am convinced it's going to be one of these two.
This may be the equivalent of a state championship game, and these two teams could very easily meet again in the Eastern playoffs, state semifinal game. Bumaski back in the ball game with a ball blocked, Ramsey controlled, stolen away, but Flowers gets it back for Norristown, and every possession for Norristown now is a big possession. They don't want to waste these possessions.
But I just don't like those long passes, Jim.
Flowers with the ball on the move, has it batted away, controls, gets it to Johnson. Johnson on the move, fakes underneath, comes deep, fouls. Flowers to Thompson. Thompson with a fake, drives, and he's got it! Foul on Reed.
And I'll tell you, the quiet man out there, Jeff Thompson, is doing it all for Norristown, the way he's done all season. And you know, Jim, as I've said before, I've seen him play his whole career at Norristown, and I don't recall him having a bad game. He goes unnoticed out there for so long, and then at the end of so many games, you see he was the man that won it.
Thompson with 19, foul shot up, Jeff Thompson with 20. And those were the first points Thompson has had in the second half. He did not score in the third quarter. Nice to see him get hot in the fourth quarter and carry this team on. Eagles by 11. Johnson kicks the ball out of bounds.
Well, I'll tell you, Jim, you said Thompson had 20 points. Well, look, Norristown only has 44 points. That's almost half their points.
Cavilion with the ball, on the move, over to Epps. Epps on the dribble out to Cavilion. Cavilion coming down with a long jumper up, in and out, no good. There's the battle for the ball. Thompson, and it's going to be a foul on Glen Mills. It looks like it's on number 22, Truett Reed. Sorry, that's Golston, and that is his third foul, and that's an even better foul.
This foul situation could really decide the game.
Eagles have to hit. Eagles are going to be in the 1-and-1 all the way to the end. And that first foul shot is the important one. Make that, get that second shot.
I can see where the Eagles, now the majority of their points could come from that foul line.
Thompson ready with a dribble. Bends, ball is up, good. Eagles by 12.
Jim, I'd like our fans to know Thompson isn't just a basketball player. He's a real gentleman as a student. You take pride in your school having a man like Jeff Thompson there.
That's true. I think we can take pride in all of these Eagles this year. They're pleasant. You see them in the hallway. They got big hellos for you. I just like this team. It's been fun following them. Eagles continuing their press. Here comes Reed. Ball stolen by Flowers on the dribble. He's got it.
And Howard,
Eagles by 15 points. Timeout, Glen Mills. Norristown 48. Glen Mills 33. 6 minutes and 52 seconds left in the ball game.
Now, Jim, you got to expect Glen Mills to come out and start playing some sort of tight press here. What they might do, what Glen Mills might do, is bench their players in foul trouble, put people in there without fouls, and have them press on Norristown really close. It's going to be interesting to see what their strategy is.
All right, Eagles out fast here in the fourth quarter, keeping the pressure on, playing that full court press, doing the job, exactly what they have to do, not letting up on the Bulls. And
you know what's surprising to me, Jim, is with Glen Mills' rebounding ability, their players aren't taking that 12-foot jump shot. I would think they would pop it up there all night, figuring that their men underneath are going to get the rebound.
The danger with that, of course, is that the ball isn't necessarily going to fall down underneath. It's going to come out. And we've seen Johnson, Flowers, Simmons, all of them with their fast hands get that ball and trigger that fast break, just like they did here.
But you see, when that ball goes up there, the heads of the Glen Mills players are a little bit above the heads of the Norristown players.
So far, the Eagles have done everything you would want them to do. Here comes Glen Mills, Cavilion with the ball, finds Epps, Epps with a spin move, battled by Flowers, over to Cavilion. Back to Allen, Allen going to throw up the three, and he's got it.
That's what I mean, Jim. I thought they would take that shot more often.
And that's what you don't want to see. There goes a pass to Johnson, breaking the press. 48-36 Norristown. 6 minutes, 25 seconds left. And the Eagles are going to be content to move the ball. Johnson over to Flowers. Flowers on the dribble, comes through the middle, finds Johnson outside. I hope they don't try to freeze the ball the rest of the way. Johnson down the paint, and he's
great play by Binky Johnson. He had Golson on the ropes there. If Golson came out on him, he was going to dump it off underneath.
There goes a steal by Thompson. 11 points for Johnson. Mike Evans with a walk. Too bad. Eagles by 14. 6 minutes and 1 second left in the ball game. That's how close the Norristown Eagles are to their District 1 championship.
But 6 minutes is a long time of basketball here.
Keeping the pressure on. Here comes Epps with the ball. Norristown keeps the press. Broken. Cavilion has it on the go. Long three-pointer going up. No good. Rebound Johnson. Johnson finds Flowers down court. On the layup. He's got it.
I don't understand why that wasn't goaltending. The ref looked like he wouldn't have called it. When you slap that backboard, that is goaltending.
52-36. There's Epps over to Cavilion. Guarded by Johnson. Cavilion all over him. Back out to Epps. Epps on the move. Underneath with a layup. Off. No good. Rebound Mike Evans. And Evans tough on the boards tonight. He may well be the leading Eagle rebounder. There goes Ramsey. There's an offensive foul on Ramsey. Second foul for Priest.
This hasn't been Priest Ramsey's night tonight. He's playing his heart out there, but he's just having a rough night.
9 rebounds for Mike Evans, and Evans has done a strong job off the board continuously tonight. 5 minutes and 10 seconds left. Pressure kept on. Epps with the ball over to Allen. Allen finds Golston. Ball blocked away. And it looks like a foul called probably on Howard Flowers.
Was it on Flowers? I think it might have been on Rick. Oh, you're right. Howard Flowers. I hated to see that foul because now they're on the foul line where they weren't before, but it had to come sooner or later.
First shot is no good.
And this is the part of the game where every bucket means something to both teams.
This is where you want to keep on those boards. Olsen up with a shot. It's good. 15-point Eagle lead. 5 minutes and 4 seconds left. Press. Jeff Thompson handling the ball. And Frank, that's something I thought that they could do. Use their big men to help break the press. All right, smart play, Ramsey. Out to Evans that time. Didn't force things.
Now,
Johnson
did you see the way that man hit Binky Johnson
there? Goes the ball to Evans. Evans on the drive with a fake. Shot is up, no good. Foul on Golston, and that will be number 4 on 52. Both.
But you know, Jim, I don't mean the ref should have called that a foul on Binky Johnson, but he called one like that against Binky Johnson earlier in the game. All I want out there is some consistency in the foul calling. I don't care whether they call the close ones or the not so close ones, as long as there's some consistency out there.
That was the 4th foul on Alonzo Golston, and both of the Bulls' big men are now in trouble, both of them with 4 fouls. And what I would do if I were the Eagles now, I might not be tempted to freeze outside. I would be tempted to take it into the paint, drive to that hole, and make those big men play them. I think they can foul them both out.
I agree with you, Jim. It'll be interesting to see how much it'll hurt Glen Mills to lose one of those guys. I understand they do have a strong bench, though, and who knows, maybe bringing a fresh man in there might not hurt them that much. We'll just have to wait and see.
Now, one thing we're going to have to remember about Glen Mills, one of the Glen Mills' very best players has not been here for the last 3 games. And I would imagine a death in the family, which is a tragedy, and I imagine that they are going to pick him up and will have him for the rest of the playoffs. But I'll tell you something. The way the Eagles have played tonight, this is what we've wanted from them most of the year. And even though it's not and we got a blocking foul on Jeff Thompson underneath.
Well, Jeff didn't like the call, and we couldn't tell from up here, but as long as you don't let the man get the shot off, that's a good foul. What's our statistician have on Jeff Thompson?
That's
there?
his first foul.
First foul?
He stayed out of trouble. Jeff
That's
does
good.
That. Jeff doesn't get in foul trouble too often.
And Jeff can afford to give a few fouls if it keeps them from getting the easy bucket.
Epps shot strong off the back of the rim, and again, both teams now having foul shooting trouble. Second shot is up and good. 52-38 Eagles. Ball in the hands of Flowers on the dribble. Finds Johnson. Johnson
there,
on the
Jim.
move, and there was a good play by Robinson. Binky had to avoid him, and he lost the ball. Ball in the hands of Allen, almost loses it on the drive. Epps good. And Epps has 12 points and is the leading scorer for Glen Mills. Here goes Thompson, smart call,
Good
takes
call.
the timeout.
Norristown is going to have to realize they're going to need all 5 players to bring that ball down the court now. They can't just leave 3 up. Glen Mills has 5 trying to keep them from bringing it up the court, so they can't bring it up 3 men against 5.
4 minutes and 7 seconds left. Eagles up by 12, 52-40. And the famous 6th man of Glen Mills has pretty much been kept out of this game. And that's one thing you want to do. You don't want to see Glen Mills get a couple quick, cheap baskets with Norristown throwing the ball away, and then hear that fan section start getting into it. Because they can be a pretty intimidating
that's right, Jim.
force.
You got to, their fans, well, you folks can hear them over there. They bring the whole school to the game.
All right, Eagles will be inbounding the ball. And here's a case where, again, these possessions, if the Eagles could take a little bit of time off the clock, then get the ball in for the basket, that's what you want to see them do.
But you know,
Here comes
Jim,
Ramsey throwing in, finds Johnson, and Johnson's the guy you want with the ball. On the dribble, coming up, finds Ramsey down court. Ramsey over to Thompson. Thompson on the drive, underneath with a layup. Perfect play, just the way John Cresswell drew that on the board. Eagles by 14. Here comes Cavilion, and they'll have to start looking for the threes. And there goes
are.
one now with Allen, off short. Golston underneath with a move, ball up, good. But there have not been many of those. Flowers on the dribble, comes up, bad pass. Look for Thompson.
That's
Thompson
what the Eagles
looking.
can't do, Jim.
Robinson.
They can't get cute out there.
There goes Allen. Allen looking for the ball, stolen by Johnson. Battled, yes, Johnson's got the ball on the dribble, coming down court. 3-on-2 to the paint, all the way around, left-handed, yes. Binky
Jim,
Johnson
on
now
that
with
play,
13 points.
it's like each one of the Glen Mills players thought the other one was going to take Johnson, and neither one of them took him. He went right between them and put that layup up there, and that was a big play.
Eagles 56, Bulls 42, 3 minutes and 19 seconds left. And I'm sure if you're sitting on the Norristown bench, coaches Cresswell and Mitchell can't have that clock move fast enough. What they'd like to do is look up and see no time left on that clock and hear that buzzer go off.
And I'll tell you, there's going to be some crucial foul shooting around here in the next few minutes.